Alright, so Konami decided to come out with a new Forbidden Limited list. It ended up being a little bit late, but better now than sometime in June. I'm actually pretty happy that it came out this early, mostly because my friend Lewis was so confident it wouldn't come out until June. So I think it's pretty funny that it came out earlier than that. So I just wanted to go through and react to all the changes. So first off, obviously we have Astrograph Sorcerer right here getting banned, which is a pretty harsh hit to Pendulum Magicians, but I think most people were expecting this. The card is really strong in the deck, and it seemed like the most obvious hit, so that's totally understandable. Moving on, we have Masterpiece, the True Dracoslaying King. So I'm really happy about this hit. I really did not like the True Draco deck at all. It was really not fun to play against, in my opinion, personally. And this is a really harsh hit to the deck. A lot of people were expecting it to not get hit because they're reprinting Diagram in the tins, but I mean, they reprinted Zoo in the tins and they killed Zoo. So, I guess they did wait until after Nats, though, to kill Zoo. Uh, I think killing Draco before Nats is like a mercy for everyone who doesn't play the True Draco deck because it's so not fun to play against. Though I do feel a little bit bad for the True Draco players themselves, although they did have last Nats already. So, they did have one uh, go at go at it basically, which is about how much most decks get. So, as long as you're not Burning Abyss, they can go for it every year. Moving on, we have uh, Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis. I don't even know what this card is, so we're gonna have to look it up. Okay, here we go. It's a plant level 8, 2200. This card cannot be special summoned except with its own effect or with Phoenixian Seed. If this card attacks, it is destroyed after damage calculation. If this card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. During your end phase, you can remove from play one plant monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position. So, this must be used in some burn combo, I'm guessing, because when it's destroyed, it's at the graveyard, does 800 damage. That's all I got. I've never seen this played. Let's see, this is all the way back from Raging Battle in 2009. So yeah, this has to be used in some degenerate combo because on its own it doesn't do anything. So I've never seen the combo before, so I have no comment. I don't care because this card wasn't gonna be played anyways outside of something like that. So yeah, it's whatever. Assuming it is involved in something like that, I think Konami is doing a pretty good job lately of hitting cards that would be involved in uh, degenerate combos. Specifically, they've been pretty preemptive about that. Hitting things like the Tyrant Neptune, for example, and Grandsoil before they became problems. The only thing is, though, they missed the Pendulum FTK, which ended up being very relevant. So, yeah, that was a pretty big mistake. So, moving on, they did not hit Wind Up Hunter. Let's see if they have Carrier still on list. Okay, well, Supreme King Starving Venom. So, they did hit the FTK by hitting Venom, which that's pretty annoying because Venom actually had uses, uh, like normal uses. It wasn't just used for the FTK. They should have hit the Amaryllis card, which was only played in the FTK. Uh, from what I've heard, Amaryllis players didn't even really use it in Amaryllis decks. We also have Ancient Fairy Dragon down here at the bottom, which its Ancient Fairy Dragon has become a really powerful card lately. I don't really like this hit though, but I do get it. People played like Dragon Ravine with Destrudo in Ancient Fairy Dragon, and it was pretty strong in that play. So Mono Truth, let's see if Wind Up Carrier is still. Oh my god, Wind Up Carrier is still banned. What is Konami doing? Why do they hate wind ups? Okay, well, uh, I'm still gonna play windups, but this just like kills all of my optimism for the upcoming format. It makes me like not want to play Yu-Gi-Oh at all, honestly. But we're still gonna give it a try. We'll see how windups do without carrier. It's just depressing. Okay, rank up magic, Ardent Chaos Force. Another card which I don't even know what it does. Okay, so this card, target one rank 5 or higher XE monster you control, special summon from extra deck. Number C monster that is one rank higher than the one you control by using its XP material. When a rank 5 or higher exceed monster, special summon to your side of the field while this card is in your graveyard. Except in damage step, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect once per duel. Okay. How is this? How could you even use this? So I'm assuming once again this has to be something in a degenerate combo, because why else would you hit it? But I can't even see how this would be used. So you just go into, you have to make a rank 5 or higher, and you go into a C monster, and then the next time you go into a C monster you get to re-add this? You don't even get to re-add it on the first one, because this will still be on the field when the monster is summoned. And then it'll be in the graveyard after it is resolved. I don't get this one. Whatever. This wasn't gonna really see play anyways, outside of something stupid, I guess. Well, they're hitting some weird things that I haven't heard of before. Well, they're banning the Grasslook Scrainer. I think that's a good choice. That card is pretty stupid. Just mill 20. Yeah, seems appropriate, especially with left arm offering. Make it so it was around every, or a lot more often than it would be otherwise, because you just have 4 copies of it if you want. Draco Knight, the true Dracofighter, is limited. Okay. Because they banned Masterpiece. It's probably fair. No other monsters. There we go. Gem Knight, Master Diamond. Okay, to try to kill the Gem Knight FTK. I got it. Seems like a good idea. I don't really know the specifics of the Gem Knight FTK. I've only seen it like twice go through, so I don't really remember if they need more than one Master Diamond, but I'm assuming they do. And if that is the case, then it's a good hit. Chain Strike Limited. Is Chainburn even played at all currently? I mean, I'm fine with banning Chainburn, but it seems strange. Book of Moon there still limited. Good job, Konami. Um. Oh, Compulse isn't there. That's good. Okay, so we've got towers going to 2, which is like, why are you putting towers to 2? People play 1 or 0. Limiting it in the first place is pretty stupid. Um, Wind Up Magician is also still semi-limited because Konami hates wind-ups. Konami TCG hates wind-ups. I guess the only reason they printed that link is because the OCG made it, and so the TCG was like, fine, we'll give it to you guys. It's in the main set. We don't have any way of avoiding it, giving it to you guys. But we hate this deck. It is interesting, though, because windups were the best deck for a pretty good chunk of time in the TCG, but they weren't in the OCG. The OCG got Rabbit and Shark later, and even after they got those, they were never really into the wind-up deck the same way that people in the TCG were. So it's kind of interesting. The region that didn't really care for the deck and didn't play it that much, uh, so it didn't have as much impact, got the deck back to full power pretty much. They just don't have Hunter. While here, where the deck was so much better, we have the deck crippled still with no carriers at all. And they have 3 carriers, so it's pretty interesting. Okay, so moving on, we have Ring of Destruction to 2. This is another case of why is this at 2? Just put it to 3. People don't even really play Ring. This is actually just worse than Compulse, which is apparently at 3. because it hasn't been on the list yet. So yeah, this is pretty stupid. The people don't even play Ring anymore. Well, so first of all, people don't barely play traps, but they really don't play Ring. So okay, we got a lot of things here. So we got Grandsoil, which is interesting because they don't even have the reprint out yet. I wonder if we're supposed to pretend like it has the reprint text already. We have Ignis Heat because they banned Masterpiece. We've got Dragoons. Atlanteans are probably fine at this point with how much power creep we've had. 2 versus 3 is pretty much the same for something like Dragoons, I would think. And then we've got Mathematician and Grand Mole, which are obvious, and Compulse, which is less obvious, but I think a pretty good move also. I'm a little confused as to why they would move something like Compulse off the list before Book of Moon, but also Torrential on the previous list before either of those. Pretty weird. But it is nice that they're starting to move these weaker traps off of the list now that they're not nearly as good. Grand Mole is really slow. I got power crept like 4 years ago. uh, they just take forever to move things off the list. And then Mathematician's pretty good. Makes things much more consistent for decks that need it. It was a really stupid hit in the first place to hit Mathematician. So, overall, I would give this list F minus because Carrier is still on the list. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I think overall it's a pretty good list. They hit the FTKs, they hit True Draco. Those are the two main things that I really wanted from this list. They didn't hit any of the broken generic cards that they've been releasing lately. I didn't expect them to. But the past year, they've been releasing tons of really, really stupid cards. But like some of them came out in the most recent set, so there's no way they would have hit any of those because they just came out. It's mostly just R&D falling on their face, basically, and making cards that are too good. But what else is new? So yeah, overall, strong list. But so I would give it, I'd say a B plus if we ignored windups, which is what most people would be doing. But with my, I'm looking at this in the lens of windups. So in that lens, I have to give it a C because it really does not help the deck at all. But it is hurting the main problem decks in the meta, uh, or at least the decks that were the problems from the previous list up until the new set. I haven't even really paid attention since the new set. So, for all I know, there's something really crazy in the new set. I know the Nightmare Links, for example, are really strong, but those are totally generic, so that just ties in with my talking on generic cards. So I guess that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to check out some other stuff.